All right, let's see. We are live. Notifications up. There we are. All right, cool. So it's been another week, and it has been a week, mainly because it's an oven. Last week we worked on the ears, the belt, shoulder pauldron, and we did another pass over the abs, though I'm still not happy with how flat they look. But they need more volume. Though I want to keep that on the back burner for now. I think I want to start focusing on the glove and then see if we can also make something a little bit better of the chain. Yeah, music's coming. Cool. So, despite the heat, we are gonna keep going. And we'll see how it goes from here. Because again, the warmth is absolutely doing a number on my brain. So let's see. First things first. We have the light that is currently just coming from the front direction, and I think I want to have that be a little bit more top heavy. That when this character moves, currently the light source is only up front. So we want it to be a little bit that will break very easily. So I do think I want to have that. Yeah, it needs to be different, otherwise that's going to break. Let's see. Instance. That needs to be a whole lot subtler. Same for the shadows. A lot less. We'll also have to clean that up. Let's see. Let's go through the stack. Skull. Okay. Again, poor choice from the past. Getting a cloud texture on there. I don't want to do that anymore. Rather, I don't want the cloud. I'd much rather hand paint it. So that we have some more intentional color breakups. Brush. Alpha. A little bit of difference though for painting. I think I want to have it be a little bit more pronounced. You can always change the value afterwards, just that my eye now has a little bit of a better gauge of where it is. Again, this is asymmetrical, so we're gonna have to paint everything from the beginning. Rather, everything will have to paint both sides. I'll turn off the extra lights for a split second. Again, I'm just trying to emphasize edges at the start. Oh, hey Lianus, welcome on in. Hope I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Trying to wait out the 33 degrees that it is today. All the windows are closed. The ventilator's on. I do not have airco, so yeah, holding on in there. I hope you're doing well. Concept. Scar. Crack. So the heat map of Europe, yep. And being in the lower part of the Netherlands, very close to Belgium and France, where there is now a new color on the map, which is white. I have never seen that color as an indicator before in Europe. It's not great. Let's see, I had to go outside to get some groceries the other day, and when I got back, I had a physical headache from just being in the sun. That's how bad it is. Over here in the Netherlands, it's also high humidity, so that's a winning combo for not having a good time. Basically the body for a split second, has to think. Basically the inside of this skull can be darkened up as well. A little bit of extra look of shadow. Yeah, it's funny when they invent a new color to just showcase how ridiculously hot it's getting. I hope everyone's staying hydrated. Hydrated. If you have to go outside, please, for the love of God, wear sunscreen. And just, yeah, remember to drink loads and loads and loads of water. That's a good diffuse breakup. I want some brighter parts as well to accentuate. Ben Cap. Heyo, welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Doing pretty good. Hope that I'm doing well too. Yep. Doing well. Hanging in there on the temperatures. Just let me activate the entire model. This is what we're working on. Currently working on hand painting the texture. And we've been going over the entire body. And we're now in polishing stage. Still have to do the gauntlet. Chains down here, another pass on the shin guard and foot guards. Want it to be winter already so you can complain about being cold again. Yes, I'm in the same camp. Because fortunately with winter you can just keep putting on more and more warm sweaters until you're no longer cold. In warm temperatures at some point there's very little else that you can do to just try to cool yourself. Also, these autosaves are getting a little bit scary. Let's see, because now it looks awesome. Thank you. opposite, we brighten things out again, then just see if we can push them outwards. Shape to it. Probably want to have that mostly on the T. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Is this the hottest I've ever experienced? No. I believe it was last year, and that's when we slightly tapped on the 40 degrees. I am not built for 40 degrees. I have experienced this firsthand. If I step out and it's 40 degrees, I will just wither away immediately. Please don't put me through that ever again. So on Thursday, we will be tapping 38. So yeah, no, it's if you want a visual indication for this, think of the movie Rango with a little lizard guy and him standing out in the desert and just his skin immediately peeling off and poofing. That's a visual representation of me in 40 degrees. It is not pleasant whatsoever. I'm still thinking very critically about my strokes. I feel like I'm still doing like the it looks more painterly rather than I don't even know how to properly explain this one. In the past, my teachers have always told me that I write rather than paint. I still need to figure out what they actually mean with that. Well, I vaguely know what they mean with it, but I still haven't cracked on it of like, oh yeah, this is how you paint rather than... Right, because now I'm just basically going over the edges, but there's something that I'm missing. I had the same with when I was doing sculpting, like very much for the first time, where I would just basically... You would look at it and go like, okay, arm, chest, leg, foot. But they were all just dislocated shapes rather than things that flow into each other. So same with this one, I'm just going line, rather than emphasizing shapes. That has something to do with it. Yeah, I hope that over at everyone else's place that it's somewhat cooler. They're going somewhere. Not entirely. Okay. Again, I'm doing the thing where I'm painting the thing that I see in my head, not what I'm actually seeing on the map. Actually, also... Right. But the teeth have a lot more grooves on them, so I'll paint that in. Again, a lot of positive and negative painting. Depth in. Slowly getting better at painting that. Though I'm still very much relying on happy accidents rather than knowing where to put the paint strokes and then getting the effect that I want. So the nose cavity absolutely needs to get darker. This is where I get weird with my name conventions, and I think I've been changing name conventions every stream now. Classic case of do as I say, not do as I do. Getting the big shape first, and then we'll blend it again with some lower opacity and brightness. I'll go white. Hey, hello there. Welcome on in. Come on in. Happy to see you. How are you? Okay, starting your day. You shift with some coffee. Ah, nice. That's always a good way to start the day. Okay, so every week it really feels like I need to have like some warm up before my brush strokes become a little bit more fluid again. Maybe I should start doing warm ups before these live streams start again. However, how do I say this? For the umpteenth time, I have started to try and do more 2D practice. Like opening Clip Studio Paint, try to draw something that I found on the internet. And then just trying to build up a little bit of muscle memory again. Though all of it looks like scribbling from a 12-year-old again. I remember the theory of what was taught to me, though execution, like just muscle memory of how much pressure to apply to the tablet in order to like get something of a nice result, completely obliterated again. Was gonna ask me, what am I using? This is Adobe Substance Painter. It does not get captured in the stream, but yeah, Adobe Substance Painter, and I'm using Substance Painter 2025. So hey there, HDMZ. Come on in. Base layers. A couple of extra scars. Because I imagine that this will be the if this character were to block anything, a lot of the scars would be up front. Size a couple. Small artistic liberties. Just seeing wear and tear on this thing without going crazy. Base colors, we're getting there. Probably want to update the red stains a bit because again, we're using a bit of curvature to get the negatives in there. Maybe it's better if I were to just paint in myself, because again, we're having this where we have all of these soft gradients. I don't think that's part of the character style. We want hard edges. Cool. The horns. Probably want to clean these edges up by quite a bit. So please don't tell me that I did not actually paint them on. Nope. All of them are on the correct paint layer. I know it's possible, yeah, follow path. Hopefully we'll get like a little bit of smoother. Adding a little bit of jitter so that it's not always the exact same. Should help with the brush work. Yeah, sorry for being quiet again. It's not quite sure what to talk about, because the weather is the overhanging topic of conversation in every group chat that I've joined this week. It's bad. I hope it gets better. Other than that, yeah, haven't really been doing stuff. Hey Marin, good morning. How are you? I should do the thing where I'm more zoomed out, focusing on it. Have color in here. again. Yeah, I feel like I'm just setting lines rather than painting. Mind you, this is also due to the heat because my brain is already boiling. I have a deadline for this project and I intend to keep it. It needs to be done before September. I turn it down a little bit. Blend out. I think this thing is going to benefit a lot if we add some extra shadow to it. Yeah, that's what we need. Fake light. Let's see, because looking back at it, highlights, normal. Looks like I really did paint them all on normal layers. Let's see, grabbing the base diffuse, and I'll just brighten that by a bit. Okay, the discomfort is real. I also know that every artist goes through this, so the solution is that we... So I've had this multiple times throughout the character where I'm working on it and I just don't see the solution yet. But I do know that I've gotten good results over the character. I just need to keep going and we'll get there. Trust the process, keep going. That's in a couple of minutes again. So for everyone, please do, especially in this weather, stay hydrated. A glass of water. Just chug it. Hey Labcode, welcome on in. Hope I'm having a good one. It's going. I'm really having a hard time figuring out how to paint the proper lighting on this model, or rather of the glove. Because again, it's at an angle. The values are all over the place. So yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but I have to make this work. I paint with the dark first. Maybe that'll give us a better sense. Everything from this angle has to be a bit more in shadow. Trying to figure out the value based on which direction the plane is facing. Yeah, because... So... This character, now that it's in neutral, we can have lighting just be up front. And it's pretty accurate. It'll work. However, if we look at this gauntlet, if we look at it without any lighting information, or rather the one that we get from the bake, we can see that this face is in brightness or in light and this one isn't. So when this character is going to start moving, you can very clearly see, oh yeah, the lighting doesn't add up. It needs to be more front facing. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now. I'm already looking at this, like this intensity is far too big. The shadow is also far too dark. Hey, the Brianator, welcome on in. Yeah, I haven't, especially as I'm fighting the camera. This one's a bit rough. So it doesn't happen that I added far too much color. So hey, the Brianator. I don't know if I already greeted you. Again, it is very, very warm in my apartment right now. My brain is cooking. Not in the right way. At least we have now a lot more of a bottom and top type of direction. Just have to clean this one. Just this is where light would not be able to hit, so this is where we just literally remove it. I'm not even thinking about bounce light at this point. We are nearing the end of the project, so this is where all of the amount of pressure that I'm putting on myself is also rising quite significantly. My presentation skills have always been somewhat on the weaker side, so me trying to really level it up for this project, I'm putting quite a bit of stress on myself on this one. We'll make it work. We give it our best. It's not gonna come out exactly how I want. Again, just the experience gap being there. But we are gonna learn plenty of it, and then later on for future projects we take along with us what we learn. Going for the whole finished, not perfect philosophy. Sometimes it feels like the hardest part is crossing the finish line and really making it done and presented well to make all of the effort that went into it over the months really count. Yes. The amount of times where I've had a project and then we're like, okay, cool, I put so much work into it, but then just fall flat on my face on presentation. To the point of like, where the ZBrush default material render looks nicer than my the render I tried to make in Marmoset with 3-point lighting and a bunch of technical flourishes to it. And that's where you get real sad. Yeah, that's rough. Okay, so let's see. I spent an hour on this glove. This is where we've gotten. Not a huge improvement. I think I want to move on just to... Wait, hang on. We need to add stripes. Hello, AquaCorp. Come on in. Yeah, we're gonna add the lines and then we'll see how that looks for... We'll see how it looks then. Because again, the whole trusting the process. Maybe if probably when we add the stripes, this is probably where it'll end up looking a whole lot nicer. So yeah, the working on something for months and then just quote unquote failing the presentation, of it not coming together, is soul crushing. And I've been there plenty of times and it absolutely sucks. The only advice I have for that one is to keep trying, keep pushing for it. You'll do better on your next project. Yeah, just wishing it had gone better. That is such a cool feeling. But then if I look back at what I was making in school and what I'm making now, if I was a time traveler, I'd tell my past self, like, keep at it. You'll get there. It's rough, but it's well worth the reward. I honestly can't see myself do anything else. Tried some other stuff, and that did not give me anywhere near the amount of satisfaction that art gives me. This is legitimately the one thing that I want to do. I will pursue it until I can no longer pursue it. The lines definitely add a lot. Looking at some of the shadows, I want to clean them up a little bit, and after that I wish to move. Pencil, we're doing that. Alright, that gauntlet has got its pass. I will absolutely come back to this later. Some of these things are working. I'll probably have to ask some feedback from friends. Just why is this thing not working? That is probably the values. Alright, but moving forward, so a skull, a little bit of a different color. I'll get back to that eventually. So, another challenging things. We've done all of the big things that are quote unquote easier. Now we're getting to the part where it's more like, okay, we really need to sit down for this one. Because this is the chain. Again, as for painting the light source, this is probably going to be a little bit tricky because we have a lot of overlapping UVs for this one. This is where we paint one and there's going to be like multiple chains being affected by it. So if I were to edgeware, where, yeah. I'll add a paint to it. Because if I'm going to paint on this one, thinking for a second, and you'll see numerous things changing. He really has to think on this one. So do the best I can. Painting gold is also a hell of a thing. Can I paint like this? Paint layer, fill layer. This is probably the part where I could have planned a little bit better. Now these highlights are going to be all over the place, including in illogical places, which is it's going to make it a lot more difficult than it had to be. Good learning opportunity for future characters, but for this one we're going to have to just wing it and do our best. Soft overlay, highlights, look a little bit more glossy. Primarily focusing on edge highlights. Maybe this is not the play. Maybe this is one of the few exceptions where I will just try to do with a curvature. So I'm looking at these and I'm slightly wondering why they look like this. I expected them to be a little bit cleaner, but they're not. Getting this weird highlight in the middle, which I'm not expecting. These definitely look a lot cleaner. This is what I was expecting. I wonder how that happened. Looks like they're inverted in some places. Not that happy about, so I hope this shows up. Yeah, OBS is capturing, so you can enable wireframe in Substance as well. So I'm looking at this and it might be better to just repaint this, but then directly on the UV so that everything looks a little bit more like this, because this is what I'm expecting. Because if we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll just repaint these. And then paint directly on top of the UVs. Just disable it rather than remove it by paint or remove the curvature. Then rather than tangent worm, I'm going to set this to UV and hopefully this will give me some good results. Oh, I think I know what I did wrong. If I look at this one and I paint on this edge, you can see over here that the inside is changing. Barely see it. If I remove this. So this is where I just mucked up the UVs. This is where... Yeah, the outside is cut, not the inside. So these are effectively inverted. That explains a lot. Okay. So this is now just... So that's why this one's looking as I'm expecting it. All the other ones are looking weird because we have... Yeah, these are in... UVs are mucked up. That explains it. That's a technical mistake and we are paying dearly for it now. Unless... I want to try something. Can I invert this? Low balance. This is a technical mistake that I'm now paying for. So basically this is the effect that I want. Because I mucked up the UVs, this is now looking wrong, so we'll just have to repaint it. This is going to take some time. This is very rough. This is basically messed up UVs. This is borderline unworkable. Ooh. Can I copy this texture information and just move it over to the left? Is that a thing that I can do in Substance Painter? I don't think so. I might be able to do... Okay, I'm grabbing an entire pot of spaghetti. And I'm going to chuck this at the wall. And I'm gonna see if it sticks. I've never done this before. Live on stream. And this may be something, this may be nothing. So what I'm thinking is... This one looks good. But then this one is wrong. What I want to do is duplicate this layer and then just offset it by X amount of pixels so it will overlap. And we're going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This is one hell of a workaround, but I also don't want to paint chains like crazy. So I'm going to see if this works. Now I just need to figure out... Can I... We have this chain temperature offset. So this one works. I want everything to be pure black except I want everything to be pure. I want everything to be black rather than over here. This we erase because this is the chain that we want. Paint. Hue out. Everything gets black, so that we only have this information. Okay, that's correct. Now we are going to give this, I believe it was a generator and then transform. Not a generator. Filter. Transform. Transform gives us an offset. So now I can start offsetting this. Extremely carefully. Okay, so that's one. Okay, this is where we are nudging with really small numbers. 0.8, 6. No. Okay, so that's one fixed. We now just have to do this 4 more times. This one, this transform, we know that is add. Now this is another reason why I'd like to keep my UVs also, like, whenever I have repeating elements, I like to have my UV shells on the same axis, be it either horizontal or vertical, so that if I have to duplicate something else, I know I can just move it on one axis. Okay, so this is offset 2. Rather, this is going to be offset 3. The weird stuff that we do for 3D just to make it work, because I don't want to rebake all of this. Welcome to doing 3D, ladies and gentlemen. Another one. This one, last one, transform. So I hope that this works. Five, 6, 5. Alright, cool. We have our change, we got them fixed because we put transform. Now we just have to paint out the masks so that it only affects the proper one. Ooh. Big brain moment here. This one fixed. God, this is where I'm majorly confusing myself. Paint. Mask this one out. All of this goes to black. Wireframe because it's driving me insane. Okay, and then we have it. We now have curvature on all the right places. These better places. Still quite a few hiccups, but far better than the hand-painted stuff that I was attempting. Highlights. I'll see if I rather than paint, we'll use the light trick again. So we go to with a black mask, create generator. Not ambient occlusion. Knocking up again. Filters. I really dislike that they changed all of these icons. Position, light, here we go. And this one's gonna get tricky because all of these are sharing light information. Just need to find the one angle where it looks plausible enough. Affecting all of the Today is absolutely a rough day. Many things are going wrong. Also want to make sure that this is only affecting the chain. That was rough, but it did work, and I'm happy that this transform trick works. Though this is probably going to cost us quite a bit on impact because we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 duplicates going over it. Okay, and from a distance you barely see it, but that's fine. Okay, ooh, more gold, yes. Gotta fix this hand. Thinking again, like, where would the damage be? Where would the gold have chipped away? And now it's just strip metal. Guessing the vast majority of it would be like where the hand palm is constantly scraping against it. Put some extra there. Body. Just immediately continue this part, because again, we have the old soft transition and we don't want that. We want hard edges, like chipped paint. Grabbing the ref.
Small businesses, telephone communication is still a kind of groping in the dark.
Hello? Hello? Who's this?
But now you can overcome all that with the Merlin system from AT&T. It's incredibly easy to use. So if your business isn't running as smoothly as you'd like, say hello to the Merlin system and put an end to AT&T, the right choice.
Map.
The right. So if your business isn't running as smoothly as you'd like, say hello to the Merlin system. Now you can overcome all that with the Merlin system from AT&T. It's incredibly easy to use.
Hey Ruckus, welcome on in to the stream. A bit of a quiet day today. Trying to figure out how to make the last few elements look good. And the last few elements tend to always be the hardest. Everything starts to creep together. I start noticing a lot of mistakes. We just figured out that we had like quite a UV issue. There's only one way, and rather there's only one way forward, and that's punching our way through. That's what we're doing today. On the home stretch, yep. So hey Zypher, welcome on in. Yeah, the home stretch and then just everything wanting to push it further, but then practical skill being quite a limitation. There's plenty of things that I still see and want to do differently, but then it's not coming together because either A, I don't have the technical skills for it yet, or B, I'm just not experienced enough yet. That feeling sucks, for the record. Though it's also, what's the word? It's normal. Some of you might know that image of like the art being like a wavy curvature of improvement rather than like a linear straight line that just goes from 0 to 100. You have plateaus where you will see your own shortcomings and it's super frustrating. But then you have moments of improvement, and then you have the up curve again, and then you plateau again. But all in all, you keep going up. You just have to stick through the frustration, which is an extremely important skill for artists to have. Knowledge or execution, both. I'd have to say both. Yeah, if you don't allow the scuff through, you'll never take real risk required to improve. Yeah. And then I'm doing the extra step of doing it live on stream. So, ooh, that's a fun one. Let's see, because I am learning a lot from it. I do think that this is like the hand-painted skills that I have with this one. Definitely learned a couple of new things. But then things such as just knowing how to make nice brush strokes, knowing how to tweak your brushes so that they get like a couple of extra effects or softer gradients. Those type of things are those are the type of things you will learn by just repeating the process and in very small increments find little tweaks or just learning through happy little accidents. Those are not the things you will find by watching YouTube tutorials or just have someone else try to explain to you. These are, to my experience, those are the things that you find yourself or have to find yourself through experimentation. Okay, last few bits. So we have the shoulder pauldron, which is here, but then I'm also looking at the foot guards, and I'm quite sure that those are actually identical. Hey, what's up? Welcome on in. Also, once again, thank you very much for your resubscribe that we saw right at the tail end of last week's stream. So yeah, I'm looking at the shoulder pauldron and I'm looking at it and going like, okay, the foot guards and that shoulder pauldron, I think they're the same, so I'm just gonna merge them. This one, I'm just going to disable it for now. Shoulder pattern, color correction, and these. Let it recalculate. With some light information already there. Is the output looking to be aimed at the diffuse toon style? So what I'm trying to do is hit the reference image as much as possible. So I know that the colors are still off. Plenty of my friends have told me that the value still need a tweak, but I saved that until the end. And then also this is going to be depending on how it looks like in Unreal, because Unreal also has a slightly different color gradation, or color profile, I should say. And then there's also just keeping in mind that everyone who's going to be looking at this on their own device has slightly different color profiles. If you're looking at on a computer, on a tablet, on a phone, on an iPad, whatever, it will always look slightly different. Yeah, so don't bother with being accurate with color until you open it in Unreal. I have looked at it in Unreal. It looks different again over there, so I'm just trying to get as close as possible as I can in Substance for now. Here's exposure. I mean, if you're talking about like camera exposure, maybe? Render pipeline, worked through it in a bunch with Jedam. When you get to that spot, I'll see if you'll see if you can dig up some of those resources. That would be greatly appreciated. may you share a short to a guide that is incredibly helpful in condensed hard surface painting tips? I think I have my Twitch whispers open. However, hang on, no. If this is a resource that multiple people can learn from, then... Let's see, how do I... Yeah, so if you post it now within 60 seconds, then Nightbot shouldn't shoot you down. Let me just take a quick look at this. I'll probably not be able to look at it now. Okay. I'll bookmark that one, and then I'll see about looking at it later. Thank you very much, Cypher. Cool. Overall, this is coming along lovely. This part is what makes it hard to push a little incremental change, because a lot of time it's unclear if it's going to be better or worse. Yeah. That's definitely what's happening now. Like all of the choices and all of the mistakes that we've made over the project are now compounding into like, the finish line. The amount of issues that I see with this project that I would love to fix is rough, but I also know that realistically I need to finish this project rather than go back, try to do a whole bunch of other stuff. So hey Patar, welcome on in. Though then to also hear people say that it looks good makes me very happy to hear that. Thank you very much. Hiding your crimes. Yes. Hiding your crimes. That is legitimately a really good advice. The context of 3D art of just everything is fake. Everything is smoke and mirrors, except smoke and mirrors. Fake everything. Repaint your normals, break the ambient occlusion, paint in extra information to make it pop a little bit more rather than trying to make it look as realistic as possible. Okay, let's see. Green on it, we don't want that to be. Sorry, I see my Steam notification going up and I see several people booting up Deltarune, so I'm guessing that the new chapter has released. Or people making sure that their save files are completely ready for the next chapter. I still need to play all of Deltarune, so yeah. That's on the to-do list. Guessing that everyone who has been playing the previous couple of chapters of Deltarune is looking forward to it by a large mile. The stripes, and I think I should do a pass of the stripes overall. Into the model and then switch for a couple of elements, speed things up. Just do a general pass of stripes everywhere. just due to the technical problems that we have with the chains. I'm not touching that thing again. Okay, so now we have gone from top to bottom. What are some of the areas that I'm most unhappy with, or just stuff that I still need, stuff that I think still needs like the most amount of work? We have 40 minutes remaining. What do we want to do? Okay, I'm looking at the lighting on the hands, and that needs to be updated because again we have a lot of directional light coming in. Let's see, because that is the fake light coming from here. Yep. Let's see. This is quite frontal. Okay, I'm gonna save because this what I'm about to change is being referenced in all other or in the accessory as well. So this is probably gonna be quite an intense compute. I'm gonna add another light, set that to linear dodge add, and I would like that to then also be like from the back view, because front and back I would like it to be somewhat same intensity. This. Set it to normal, then so I need to check what this mask is. So that appears to be only a little bit of where the tattoo is. Okay. Okay. Pop. Something that I just do, because I don't know all of these. Okay, OBS isn't picking it up. The blending mode, I don't know all of them by heart, so what I just do is use the arrow keys until I get an effect that I want. So I just need these two, and one for the back. Just so we have some extra information coming in. However, that's also going to be reflected for everything on the other layers, so that's why it's currently taking its sweet time calculating everything. So hopefully this will give us a good result and not muck up too many things. Slowly updating. Is this breaking more than it was fixing? So especially up here, be careful of the hair. think I want to make this a lot softer and have the attenuation. Just because it's the back. Be softer. I see what I did there. Yeah, okay, so it adds up with helped a lot. Also helped the hands look a lot more evened out. Definitely need to get rid of the highlights on the inside of the hand, because that's not where it should be. At all. And I have not been doing this symmetrically, so let's just redo that. Okay, so symmetry check, yep. But otherwise we only would have fixed one hand, and that's not what I want. So now we're just painting light directly on top of the model. Highlights on the knuckles. have to make sure that this is blended. This is also in the hand itself, so let's check it there. His body. Where are you? Fox on the Menace. Hey there, welcome on in. So we play the game of where did I put this layer? Hi there, nice to meet you too. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well today. Just woke up, see how the day goes. How's my day been going? Working on this character, and it's been a struggle, but we're slowly getting there. And other than that, there's not much to talk about other than the sun that is trying to boil us all alive. Because, yeah, it's really trying today. East Coast? Nope. Western Europe, Netherlands. Not happy with the inside of this palm. Values are off. Get rid of the fake shadow for a little bit. But again, I'm looking at this character and the inside of the palm is bright, but then now thanks to the hand painted, not shadow, light, it looks like the outside of his hand is paler than the inside. Bring it down a little bit. Thor the Highland Bull, hey, welcome on in. I can't say you've spoken with many people from the Netherlands? Yeah. Hello. Haven't been on Twitch for a while now. There are secretly quite a few Dutch streamers as well. Just stay around long enough and you'll find all of us. Does that look better? Somewhat. I'm not happy with these stripes that are in here, and I've now completely lost track of where my shadows are. It's not there, not there. We have fake light and we have fake light. This is what happens when you start messing around with too many layers. Weeks later, I have no idea what goes where anymore. More than a little bit. Well, hi Snowy, you found me. Welcome on in. I wouldn't dream of streaming without telling you. Well, I can't help it that you are taking your beauty sleep around these hours. Teach me a lesson. Oh, I must say, you did catch me at the tail end. It's 20 minutes, and then after that we've done our 3 hours again. And 3 hours goes slow if it's... I think it's almost 30 degrees inside my apartment right now. That is absolutely a thing. I hope you're doing well, Snowy. You're so sweet, thank you. Quite happy with these values. Let me mask out the parts that I don't want to have affected. Fine. These. I'm looking at these arms and I like how we have some of the rougher brush strokes, but I also feel like we can refine them just a bit. This is looking great. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we put in a lot of work in it so far. If we're on like session 35 or 36, I think we're over the 100-hour mark now, which is quite intense. Okay, I want to see if I can tackle those. So no more fake lights. We'll just get rid of that. fake shadows. We'll get rid of that as well. We'll just redo it entirely. Because I want this to look better. Where's this fake light coming from? Over there. Let's see. So now if you paint. Because last time it got way too muddy. We were mixing up our shadows and highlights and like things got way too chaotic. So that at some point legitimately becomes unusable. So I'm gonna redo it again, and I'm really gonna follow the concept that I have next to it. You be as cool as me when you grew up. Yeah, absolutely. I will not make a self-deprecating joke. This is one of them, where these upper ribs are darker than the lower two, lower four, because that's in the shadow of the rib cage. all of my remaining brain power for the last 30 minutes to get a six-pack going. Damn it, I did not paint on the right layer. Alright. Get rid of it again. We have to do it on the right layer, otherwise we can't manipulate it. Making an extra, or just a special layer just for the six-pack and get those highlights in. Fake light on the rib cage one more time. You have no idea how nervous I am now for this element to hopefully come. Dear Substance Painter, please don't crash. Yeah, you good? Okay. Because again, at the end of the project, doesn't matter how often you do stuff, doesn't matter how careful you work, stuff will begin to break. Just brace for it. Blur it out, and now add highlights, which are just little triangles. I have a sneaking suspicion that something updated on my computer because I keep seeing the little scroll wheel that you hold down to right click, and I really, really, really hope it's not Windows Ink pulling shenanigans again. Because it's always Windows Ink. Okay. I'm gonna stop touching that area. I say that. Okay. A couple of stripes. Quickly check where, like, does everything have these stripes? Majority of them do have it. I wanted to create a little bit more, right. A couple extra highlights on the fur tufts. On the glove, and after that I think we're gonna call it. So we'll go a couple of minutes longer. Let's see, that is accessories. So hydrate. Again, it's not going to be much, but I just want to have a couple of highlights painted in these fur tufts so that they're a little bit more lively. So let's see, we have all the pauldron, belt and straps. There are the fur tufts. Left arm fur tufts. He's right. Break up the fuse. We have these anastrophics, and with these I'm okay with it. You're just enjoying your morning cheerfully sketching a fun goofy dragon while I'm trying to lock in leveling up my skills. Makes you feel like you're doing more than... Makes you feel like you're doing more than... I mean... I'd love to go back to drawing goofy things again. It's just that for this one, like... We're very close near the finish line of this one. An outside observer, the XP bar is progressing. Thank you. So yeah, just again, I've had so many feedback. Another friend who started up Delta Room. I've had so many feedback rounds of industry professionals telling me, "Hey, your texturing work is your weakest skill." I'm like, all right, cool. I'll work on that next. So yeah, I'm really trying to level that one up. Probably the least practiced. Probably due to like okay, how do I say this? Sometimes it sounds like I'm using my colorblindness as an excuse of like, oh yeah, I'm colorblind, so I can't texture. But there are plenty of tools out there that will help me either see is not the right word, but approximate very accurately of what the color should be. So these tools are available, and I have found quite a few of them. Substance Painter allowing you to be non-destructive and just put whatever color that you want on a fill layer. And later on adjust them if someone with proper eyesight looks at it. Like, everything is there. Where am I going with this train of thought? Yeah, I just need to do it more. This is my weakest skill. It is the least practiced. Many of these previous characters I've tried to do it quicker than the time it deserved. Let's see, fake highlights, add a paint. Weakest doesn't mean bad. You're right on that. See if I were to paint in a couple of these larger highlights. With the blur tool. It's a little bit messy. When you go in cycles of addressing the weak spots, the weak areas are often the quickest path to overall improvements and gains if you're a result-oriented person. As a result-oriented person, yes. I've also gotten this feedback plenty of times of, they call them bricks and pillars, where your pillars are your large projects. These are where you go the full gauntlet of making a character, high poly, low poly, retopology, texturing, and presenting it in something like Unreal, Unity, or Marmoset. Those things take a huge amount of time, and the skills that you get out of it, of having run the full gauntlet, are a lot. Like, you definitely learn a lot from it. However, you also have your bricks. These are your smaller studies, your smaller projects, like 1 or 2 weeks of just, I'm gonna focus on really making sure that I get the teeth right on this model. Or I really want to learn how to paint metal a whole lot better. So you just make a metal little lockbox of geometrically very simple geometry. It's a cube with bevel edges, a padlock on it, and a key. But then you're really, really, really going to focus on the texturing work of making the metal look like metal. And that would be a brick in your wall rather than a pillar. You're not trying to gas people up and keep positive feedback tangible. Favorite paths to improve and suggestions overthrow darts and spears. To improve and suggestions overthrowing darts and spears. Anyone can point at something and say it looks wrong. Almost no one can tell you what to do to fix it. Yes, that is definitely also a thing of, okay, you look at someone else's work and, oh boy, is it easy to look at it and go like, oh yeah, something's up. But then give them accurate feedback of like, okay, this is probably what you can do to try and improve. That is really difficult. Also, me trying to paint anisotrophics. Huh. Quite difficult. Okay, this ain't working. That looks nice. Okay. Technique in the short word earlier will help exactly what you were describing with metal. Yep, doing short studies. When the work is stylized, you have to read intent on top of everything. Yep. Do I enjoy refinement more than concepting? Can you clarify the question? Not quite sure if I understand it properly. It sounds like an interesting question. I want to change the blending mode a little bit. Not overlay, that's far too subtle. a little bit deeper shadows at the core, so we get a little bit more gradient look to it. And I think we're in a really good spot for these fur tufts. Deke, what if you make another outfit today? Quick 20-minute in and out. I think the heat has gotten to your brain. I think you should go get some ice cream instead. And some shut-eye. Hi, Deke. You ate half a kilo of watermelon. You're invincible. Okay. But yeah, how about... Okay. Take a small break first. Then after Friday, you can make another outfit. Yes, Snowy, you are very much invisible underneath that blanket. Bit. stripes. Way to add some depth to it. Deek's being hot again. Yep. Deek's been working extremely diligently on her new 3D model. I believe she's going to unveil it on Friday. So whoever here is not following Deek yet, go follow Deek, please. Following Deek? Good. Let's see. That worked. I want to add a little bit more light to the feet. Texturing is looking so good. Oh, thank you. Final touches now. Because, yeah, this is the point where I really need to set up my Unreal scene. And then do some look tethering in there and see what breaks. Because for now, yeah, we've gone over everything twice. Many of the things we need have the stripes. We have reflections over there. Wait, hang on. Accessories. Okay, we'll probably have to paint some extra shadows in the face as well. Especially if we make a shot without the mask. But other than that, I think we're very, very close to a nice spot for the texturing face. That makes me very happy. Let me immediately save this. Because saving this file is now taking like several seconds. Okay. So I do not want to use the word finished. I will not use the word finished, but I am saying that the texturing is now in a really good spot where I'm surprised by it. I'm quite proud of it. And now I need to kick this thing over into Unreal and fight it over there. And for that I will summon more than a couple of friends. Because, yeah, Unreal Engine is a raid boss, and I'm not going to solo that. Alright. Let's save one more time. I'm gonna look into my following list to see if any other friends are online. Let's see. I see Kate online, and I have not raided into Kate before, so I'm gonna go say hi to them. So, in OBS. We're not gonna run those ads. Another step, almost there. Yeah. Alright, so /raid. Cade. If you don't know who Cade is also a 3D artist here on Twitch. I think they're one of the first ones who's been doing this almost full time. Great artist, and I want to go say hi to them. So to everyone who was watching, thank you immensely for being here. This was a bit of a rough session, but we managed to punch through it. If you'd like to see more of me outside of Twitch, you can always follow me on my Blue Sky. Self-plug, you can click this link. It'll take you to it. If you'd like to see more of my previous sessions, all of them should be uploaded to YouTube now, where we go from starting with a sphere all the way to where we are now. It is over 30 videos of unedited, unedited live streams, where you can see the entire process. Everyone drink water, it's hot out there. For everyone who has my emotes, we go with the classic Cozy Vibes raid. Then I will see all of you hopefully in Kate's channel. And for the rest of you, thank you very much. Have a great day, and I'll see all of you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.